of all the teams, clearly they're on the top of the pile, and I think it's the manner of their performances and the way they've gone about their business is the impressive thing. Obviously we've had similar situations last year with Man City, who started off like a house on fire and then weren't able to sustain it. But you look at the makeup of United's squad, it's very strong, both technically but physically. They look a strong, powerful side. They're playing in a way which obviously I've got good knowledge of. They're playing in a way that United fans will take to and enjoy, because they expect their teams to attack with power, pace and ability. So they have all those elements, but there's areas of their team that's it's only early days, and I'm sure there'll be areas of their team that they feel will need to improve, as we all feel about our own teams. So those are the areas that we'll try and exploit, and we've obviously had a fantastic start to the season in terms of already beating a top 6 team, so we want that to continue. We're able to beat Arsenal here. Next home game is United. We've got Chelsea to follow them in the game following that. So these games are huge for us, and we always enjoy them. So hopefully we'll get a similar result against United as we did against Arsenal. It's not just from one area of the field. They've got different types of players as well. They've got clearly the pace of Rashford, they've got the power and presence of Lukaku, they've got the technical ability and the clever player of the likes of Mata and Mkhitaryan. So I think it's that balance of getting all those different types of players that can cause teams problems. And if you can stop the threat of the pace of Rashford, then maybe the technical ability and the awareness of a Mata is the way that they'll hurt you in another way. So when you go up against these teams, they test you more than any others.
I would argue that it's Manchester United who should feel unnerved about tomorrow's game more than Stoke, because of your record against United at the Bet 5 since you took over. I think it's win 2, drawn 2, lost 1. And also your start to the season, which is a hell of a lot more impressive than last season. Would you say that that's the case?
Well, yeah, I think we'll give United the respect they deserve, clearly. But I think sometimes the best way to show opposition respect is to really get about them and ask questions of them. And I think you can guarantee that's what we'll do. That's what we did against Arsenal. We had fantastic support from our fans on the day that will be given as well against United, because when United come to town, obviously there's that extra crackle to the crowd, so they'll be up for it. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think everybody was a little bit apprehensive maybe at the beginning of the season, because we weren't quite sure how we were going to get through the transfer market, who we were going to bring, who we were going to let go. But I think everybody's now settled and understand that we look in decent shape and we look like we're going to have a good season. So these games, like seeing that Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea come to town in the early season games is perfect for us, because we can have a real go.
Were you secretly pleased that Jack Butland didn't get a game for England?
I was disappointed for Jack. I thought he had a real opportunity, and it's a shame that he wasn't able to show his current good form, because he's playing exceptionally well at the moment. And I think it's only a matter of time. I think he's going to push really hard, and I think this season, obviously, is a big season for him. He's coming back off a long-term injury, so maybe that's a little bit of the thinking that people just want a little bit longer to make sure, convince themselves that he's back to the level. But if anybody needs any reassurance, they just need to speak to me, and I can give them all the reassurance they need, because he's certainly back, if not better, in the level that he produced before the injury. Choupo-Moting came off in his first game with a hamstring. We checked him yesterday. We're hopeful, but obviously there's a little bit of doubt in terms of his availability, but we're hopeful that he might be okay. A number of the others came back with just little niggles, and hopefully they won't be of the type of injury that will stop players playing. The one big injury we've got, unfortunately, is Ryan Shawcross, who's pulled up in training and looks likely to miss, certainly at the weekend. We hope it won't be any longer than that, but he's the major concern at the moment. He's just got a little issue with his back. It's not what he's had before in terms of disc injury. It's just a little ligament around the back, lower back, and he's just damaged that. So he's a little bit stiff. So we're just going to have to wait for that to settle down, unfortunately. It is unfortunate, because clearly he wants to obviously continue in the same vein. He started the season really well, and obviously signing a new long-term contract here was important for him, clearly important for us as well. So we're all delighted. Dragged on a little bit, and these things can do because players have to be comfortable with long-term deals. But we got there in the end. There was always the feeling that the deal would be signed and Ryan would be with us for a longer time. So yeah, it's good news, but it's a shame that he's got injured. But he's going to be here for a long time. So that's the key to it. Okay.